Hello DC fans, thanks so much for clicking on this video. My name is Chris. We just got some bonkers crazy news that I can't even believe what I'm staring at right now. Essentially, you watching this video is also you currently attending the funeral for the upcoming Batgirl movie because it appears Warner Brothers and Discovery have decided to flat out cancel the movie. And that fact is even more shocking and confusing when you realize this film is completed and ready to go, so what do you mean it's canceled? I'm going to be breaking down all these details here for you guys, telling you what it means for the future of DC, whether we think this is a good thing, a bad thing, and honestly, is Blue Beetle next or any other upcoming project? Because I'm actually scared now for Jaime Reyes, as well as give me your opinion down below, because as much as this pains me and as horrible as this is maybe a silver lining that Warner Brothers is getting their stuff together and they are taking stuff seriously. Alright, so basically all of this started when out of nowhere, the New York Post today posted an article talking about the irredeemable Batgirl movie gets shelved by Warner Brothers despite its $7 million price tag. Now, this was the first article to post on the news, and let me tell you guys, I hate this article. It is extremely biased. The person who wrote it, you can tell, is kind of being a dick.
Is this true?
Yes, it's true. This man has no dick.
The whole article is very much leaning as a Marvel fanboy and just really comparing a lot of DC's recent movies to Marvel's success. Like, they flat out say in this article that The Batman with Robert Pattinson made an okay amount of money with over $700 million. It's part of that weird stigma going around with fans that if your superhero movie didn't make $1 billion, boy, you flopped.
Have sex, accept, put my hands against.
When $700 million is not just okay at the box office, that is a huge success. Also, they called it rated R. My Batman was not rated R, because I didn't get to see some Batman schlong in there. So immediately, with the way this article was just spewing out terrible information, it being extremely biased, I had no mind to pay attention or even think at all this was credible, and I was just going to ignore it. And then about 10 minutes later hit, and we got another article from The Wrap that claims Batgirl won't fly. Warner Brothers Discovery has no plans to release nearly finished $90 million film. And I thought for a second maybe this article was just sourcing the New York Post, but no, The Wrap, which actually is a credible and respected news station, they have confirmed it with their own sources that Batgirl is planning to not be released theatrically or on HBO Max. Further details here in the article goes as the leaders of the studio determined ultimately, in spite of reshoots and increased budgets, did not work. According to insiders, the new owners and management, led by CEO David Zaslav, are committed to making DC titles big theatrical event films, and Batgirl isn't that. Insiders added that the studio brass loves the film's directors and star and are actively planning to work with them soon. And that is where we're at right now, guys. This Batgirl movie that had been in the works that, if you know and been following my channel, I was actually excited for. I wanted to see this movie. I thought it was an interesting idea. It would be after The Flash would reset this whole timeline and we'd get a Batgirl that's being trained by Michael Keaton Batman, Brendan Fraser in there as Firefly. Sure, the costume didn't wow me, but I was willing to give it a chance just because I'm optimistic. I like movies. But of course, all of that was the product of the old Warner Brothers management. This is the same Warner Brothers management that has just been a complete mess for the last decade. Don't forget, right before Discovery bought out Warner Brothers, they were planning to make a Wonder Twins movie that was literally weeks away from filming, and Discovery got in there and said, keep his butt in Riverdale. They got superpowers there now, right? So there is a part of me that I'm not going to lie to you guys that is seeing this news, is reading up on this, that is both devastated, but also kind of looking optimistically at this, because while I want to say, yes, I was always excited to watch the Batgirl movie, I wanted to see it, but the idea of how it was presented, how it came about, and how it was going to release was always so stupid to me. Because again, let me remind you, the original creation of this movie was to spend $7 million, bring back Michael Keaton, a classic legacy Batman character, throw in J.K. Simmons, Commissioner Gordon, have Leslie Grace become the new Batgirl, also even tease Robin in a possible Nightwing movie, and we're just gonna dump it on a streaming service. Like, what? If you're gonna commit to a Batgirl movie with Michael Keaton in there, commit to it, make this theatrical, make this a big budget movie. And in the end, I think that was the downside, because when Discovery came in and they had that big meeting where they said, DC movies, we need to get it together. Marvel is making huge, big bucks money. We want in on that, and we're gonna do whatever it takes to make you guys a respectable brand again. So when you have a movie that was created to be a straight to streaming movie, essentially a straight to DVD, how do you then turn that into, let's class it up a bit and make it now a theatrical release? It was gonna look cheap going to theaters. It was sadly going to give us that straight to DVD vibe, even if we wound up liking it, because in the end, it was made to go straight to streaming. So that's why there's a part of me with this Discovery announcement, I'm like, this is kind of a good thing, but like, I want to see Batgirl. I want to see this movie. What do you mean you're not going to release it? That's how dedicated right now Discovery is to reshaping the DC brand, that they don't even want to release a movie they spent close to $100 million on because they're afraid it'll tarnish their brand even further. That's what I'm talking about with the silver lining in this situation, that as much as we probably wanted to see this movie, they are taking things dead serious. But again, how dead serious are they taking this? Because the Blue Beetle movie, that's wrapped up now. They finished filming that thing about a couple of weeks ago. Some of the cast members posted a picture on it. Is Discovery gonna get into another meeting and go, all right, we canceled Batgirl. We're not gonna let that happen. We need to focus on our big star players, Batman, Superman, Flash, Green Lantern, Blue Beetle, this obscure character only comic book fans know? Do we really want to spend the extra $30 to $50 million on visual effects, on marketing, on putting trailers out there, when right now they're focusing on trying to rebuild the brand with their classic characters? Like, that's what I'm afraid of right now, is that they're gonna cancel the production of the Blue Beetle movie, but it's like, you just lost $100 million with Batgirl. You're really gonna lose another, what, 70, 80 million you spent with Blue Beetle? Same thing goes with the upcoming Static Shock movie. Admittedly, that's a character we know because of the cartoons as a kid, but it doesn't fit to Discovery's main plans of wanting to focus on their main legacy characters and build them back up before they start going off to some of these lesser known characters. It's kind of that win-lose situation right now that DC fans are juggling with. I even said this for a long time. I highly doubt the Green Lantern HBO Max series is actually going to happen, because that was Warner Brothers' main problem with this whole situation. It's like, how are you going to spend millions of dollars on something to go straight to streaming that doesn't make logical sense to us? There was an article that came out that Discovery believes if you make a movie that goes to streaming, it should be capped at like $30 million and no more than that. There's no way this Green Lantern show that's going to encapsulate decades of different Green Lanterns, show off the Green Lantern Corp, was going to cost less than $30 million. That show, I think for sure, is canceled, and they're just going to work on another movie to release it in theaters, because in this article they state David Zaslav wants DC films to be big event movies. They don't want them to be straight to streaming stuff. So it really is a bummer of a situation, man. It's like, great, finally DC is getting the respect and attention it needs, because before Warner Brothers was just throwing random projects at us and hoping we like it. Now they're going as far as to cancel things that are in the works, taking $100 million losses, all because they're that dedicated to wanting to rebuild this brand. Let's see if it works, man. Next DC fandom is going to be interesting as hell. Because, like, if you really look on the flip side of this, all the controversies that have happened with Ezra Miller and the Flash movie, and they're still so dedicated to getting that movie released and in front of the people because it's the Flash. That is a huge character in comic book history. You're going to want to release that movie. But something like the Batgirl that had no controversy, no problems, was just scrapped because, hey, you ain't popular enough, Batgirl. So really, coming back down to it, I am devastated. I wanted to see this Batgirl movie, and someday in the future, they gotta release it. Like, this is a rarity in Hollywood, where they make a movie, they finish it, and then they just go, yeah, we're not releasing this. Eventually, these movies that get shelved do come out, but it's going to be in the far off future, maybe when their brand is rebuilt and this is an Elseworld story. If not, I can already see this becoming one of those movies that'll get a documentary made that people will always wonder, what does that movie look like? Could we ever see that thing happen? So this is where I throw it off to you guys. You hear that Batgirl is now looking to be canceled. You're not going to see this movie anytime soon, and it's all because they want to reshape the DC brand. Is this the right choice? What other projects that they have up and coming do you think are going to get axed off next? Anything and everything, be sure to like, subscribe, follow me on Twitter at 3C Films or on TikTok at 3C Films. But as always, I'm Chris. Take care.